Welcome back to the Throttle channel. We've got our AP2 S2000 here behind us, and we've got a bunch of really cool parts laid out. We're gonna go over those real quick for you guys because we're gonna start the installations.
Yeah, today's a spoon day apparently.
Spoon day here at Throttle. So let's get into what we have here. To start off, we have our spoon body kit. It consists of an aero front bumper, an aero rear bumper, and the aero mirrors. To complement the rest of the body kit, we have a vented Sabon carbon fiber hood paired with Greddy hydraulic hood struts. For the final touch, we have a set of fender vents from Ballade Sports. Now let's get to work. To celebrate the return of our S2000 to the YouTube channel, we're running 2x entries for a limited time to win our S2K plus $20,000 cash. Shop performance parts or apparel on throtl.com. Every $1 you spend is going to be 2x entries.
It is time to divide and conquer the aero kit and the mirrors and the vents on this thing. Quinn and I are going to get started on the rear bumper while Mickey and Ricky divide up the fender vents and the mirrors. I think we should see if we can get these front and rear bumpers done before they finish their task. So right now we're going to remove the plastic pins and retainers, get this rear bumper off, put on the new aero kit. So that was really simple. There was 3 clips right here, some stuff inside of the wheel well, and then everything just, pulled right off, and we just had to disconnect the license plate light. So now the old one is off, and we're gonna make sure that the new one's ready to go on and get that thing on. We tried to fit it a couple of times and we think it's stopping right here because it's kind of just shy of getting over these ledges. So we're gonna grab the correct socket size and we're gonna take this off, fit it on there again. And this seems to be an extension. So I think with any kind of new tow hooks that anybody wants to put on, if we put one on, there's an access hole for the OE location right there. It's just probably gonna have a longer yoke in order to go in and thread where this thing is threading. So we have this thing almost on. What we're gonna do is we're gonna heat up the fiberglass a little bit, and then that will allow us to get it kind of stretched around those edges and kind of clicked into place. And then this back bump will be on, we'll move on to the diffuser.
Our new trimmed rear ash bar, and we painted it, which is really nice. We're gonna throw this back on. So these body kits are built and designed around the Japanese version. So they have different crash safety standards than we do here. So typically a lot of the crash support on the US cars are a lot bigger. So they need to be trimmed to fit the JDM body kit. So we're gonna put this back on, and this bumper should fit up just nice.
Damn! It definitely alters the shape of the car, like the original OEM shape of the car.
Oh, by like a lot.
Yeah.
By a lot.
All the photos I saw of this bumper, I did not notice this is like basically a wing.
Yeah.
Like it has negatives.
I wanna see it on the ground.
Dare I say this fits better than the stock bumper did?
This is the diffuser that Ricky just finished painting. Looks really nice. Now that we have the rear bumper on, we're gonna install it. Or I'm gonna make Will install it. Here you go, buddy.
Just promise not to, please.
Thank you.
Oh my God.
No promises. No promises. Diffuser is on, it looks really good. Now we're gonna fit our little license plate light. So we're gonna do a little bit of trimming, see how well this fits up in here. We might need to end up bolting it by rib nuts. So we're gonna see what it looks like. And then I think we're gonna mount our plate after. The factory bumper actually comes up a lot higher than this one does. And this one doesn't have any place secured up here. So I think we're gonna end up rib nutting down here. And then once that's on, then our rear bumper will be done. We'll move on to the front.
spoon mirror for the driver's side on it. It's time for me to install it. I'm gonna be taking the driver's side door panel off. Then we'll take the OEM mirror off. We'll place this one in place and then we'll go from there, but it's gonna look amazing. Driver mirrors in, freaking sick. Look at that. It's like a concept, like I said earlier. Looks sick. All right, time to get the passenger one done. Just got the OEM put out. We have the Saban aftermarket one here. We are gonna put it side by side. We're gonna transfer the windshield wiper fluid nozzles into the new one.
Quinn and I are gonna take this front bumper off and switch it out for the new aero kit as well. There's some small pieces of bracket sheet and hardware that we needed to swap from the OE bumper to this new fiberglass one. Quinn went ahead and transferred those, so now we're gonna try to get these on for a final test fit.
That bumper literally just went right on. That was easier than the rear bumper. The rear bumper had like on the corners you had to get a little bit of like going on, but that bumper, straight on, dude. Mint. Hood looks great, fits well. Now we're gonna put on our Ready hood shocks.
Yeah. We should have done that before we closed. No, I guess not. Yeah. One thing at a time.
Kit's pretty intuitive. Comes with instructions. We've got little ball hitches right here that are gonna go on the fenders on each side. And then it comes with these brackets that actually attach underneath on the latches. So it doesn't really bolt to the hood at all. It more bolts to the hood hinges, which is really cool. It makes it like an OEM. It doesn't really matter what hood you're using, which is awesome. So I'm gonna get this on. Ricky's gonna get the other side. We'll have it done real quick.
Moment of truth. Don't snap the hood in half.
I can't fucking reach, bro.
Go easy.
Bring it from the side.
Oh, God, no.
Bring it from the center while he pulls from the top.
I already want to touch it.
Hey!
Hi, glove. Oh, pretty good.
That's it, baby.
I'm in.
Wonder how fast it's gonna pop it up.
Yeah, I was
see that.
I was literally just thinking that same thing.
Should be like. It's not bad. Dope. Sick. No more hood prop. Get that thing out of here.
You're gonna take that out?
Well, she's kind of
Take your
dry.
time. We'll just come back tomorrow.
Yeah, no, we're good. Yeah.
Spin towards me.
Yep. Yep. What the heck?
Spin it towards me
Oh.
and pull up.
You got it. Yep, there you go.
Yeah, that's the
Come
hole
on,
right there.
a little bit more. Come on, just take it out, dude.
Can't see.
Try the pepper shaker.
Wow. There you go.
Jeez, should have lubed this thing first.
I looked for some photos online. There's really not a whole lot of information out there about how to mount these. The one picture I did find, the person actually drilled holes in the flange and actually secured it with nuts and bolts. I don't really like that. This car is gonna look very smooth, especially with the spoon aero parts on it, so I don't wanna start adding bolts where we don't need to. I also noticed that he mounted them more crooked like this because the shape flows better with the fender, but I really want a nice symmetrical line between the actual body line and this. So I think we're gonna have to get a little tricky with some heat here, and I've also thought about the idea of pulling the fenders off, cutting this out, and actually flush mounting these from the bottom. I'm not sure it's possible, but we might give it a try. I'm gonna try to get it placed on here now and see where we're at. All right, I pulled out the fender liners because I think I want to mount these from the bottom up. I think it'll be a better aesthetic. I looked at some pictures of the Porsche GT3 RS and that's how they are mounted. However, the Porsche GT3 RS fender has a rolled ledge. So if we panel bond these in from the bottom, I can kind of recreate that look. And I think it'll look really nice. And we won't have to have a flange on top and we won't have to run any bolts or anything, hopefully. That's the plan. And I'm probably gonna leave a little bit of metal so I can trim up to it and make it, because we need to keep that edge so we can clean it up real nice and make it look purposeful. No going back now, boys. I think the bottom mount is going to be the way we go with this. We've got it kind of in here now, just got a couple clamps holding it in. And then the goal is going to be to panel bond these in from the bottom instead of on the top. By not putting them in from the top, we're going to have a much cleaner edge and we can roll this in. They'll look a lot more OE like this, I think. And then we can also decide if we want to paint these body color or leave them black. I'm leaning towards black on the fins. I think it's a bit of a better look and it kind of breaks up the fender a little bit. But at this point, like, we've kind of got it close enough to where we can bond them in and leave it to the body shop to kind of go in and radius all these edges and make it perfect. We're close. It's almost time to start on the other side now. The hardest part about doing stuff like this, especially when it's visible on both sides, is getting everything to match up just right so that to the eye, it's straight, it lines up, and when you see both sides at the same time, it doesn't look like you screwed up. So what we've done is we actually created a negative, we transferred it over here. Now we can start cutting this fender. We know we've got the distance from the headlight to the front of the vent, and then we gotta just justify it this way, which we'll take a measurement off of the point from the other side, and then we'll have this thing exactly the same as the other side. The boys and I had a long day of getting all this stuff fitted up. Everything worked out really good, honestly. Like, really no hiccups. The portion I was doing took for freaking ever.
Yeah.
They basically got everything else done while I was doing the fenders. So they look awesome. Everything's kind of ready to go off to the paint shop once we get the parts bonded in. So good job today, guys. Tomorrow we're gonna head off to APR with the car to get the custom wing made, and we're really excited about that. When I bring this thing back, we're gonna have a real tall wing on it.
That would be sick.
Time to head home. We'll see you guys in the morning.
See ya. Can I go home now?
All right, well, we've arrived here at APR Performance. They're only about an hour and a half north of us here in LA, and it's really cool to come to their actual factory where they create the wings and do all the development of all of their carbon fiber products. APR does some amazing wings. They've got a few different versions available, even just for this S2000, but for most chassis, especially Japanese and domestic, they have a lot of offerings. They've got, I think, 3 different blade styles that you can choose from, and they even do custom applications. So if you're a race car guy and you've got, you know, one-off race car build that you're doing, you can contact APR Performance and they will actually create a wing specifically for your vehicle. These are all CFD tested and ready to rock and roll. They actually make downforce and are adjustable, which is really cool, and that's why we love using them, because this isn't just for looks. They actually already have a wing mount for this car, which is really cool, so we'll build off of that, and we're gonna decide on the height and everything here while we're putting this together. 14 inches. That's deck height to roof height. It's pretty cool. They have like specific tools. They do this every day, so this is definitely something that is neat to experience because they're always playing with wings every day. So I'm making life a little more difficult on them. They actually had an off-the-shelf riser that would have worked, but I don't think it's tall enough. It's way more street than track, and I really want this to have a track feel, so they're gonna have to custom make us some uprights, unfortunately. All right, one of the things I love about APR Performance is we have options. As I said earlier, they have a lot of different wing elements and uprights and mounts. So kind of what we're doing is using some mismatch of parts that you guys have. You have an S2000 trunk plate or mount that mounts to the back of the car. You guys have different uprights, height and style, I believe.
Yeah.
And you have a couple different elements. So why don't you speak intelligently about this so I don't steer our people in the wrong direction?
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, so like in this case, we do have a spec wing for the S2000, but obviously we kind of wanted to go more custom to what you want style-wise and height-wise and all that. So generally with like the GT250, so we looked at the GT250, the GTC 500, the GTC 300, and the GTC 200. Those are all the styles that we offer. We do offer more for complete race cars, like the GT250. We have like our 1000, our 2000, you know,
right,
our really big ones.
And so these are elements that essentially look the same on the table, but you guys are customizing them to each car.
Correct.
So the element itself remains the same, and you have, what I guess it's 3 or 4 different versions and different shapes. And you guys are actually putting the mounts and the pickup provisions on them here at the factory to suit a specific vehicle.
Yeah, so each, so the 200, the 300, and the 500 GTC wings, they each provide a different amount of downforce. You know, they have their ranges. You know, the 200 for the 250, 200 below horsepower cars. 300 is about the 300 to about maybe 500. Typically with the 3D foils, if you're tracking the car, those are for like the, you know, high, a lot of corners, low speed, so where you need the downforce in the lower range, you know. Yep. And then the 250s for higher speed tracks, and then so we went with that one for this car because you're gonna use it for a street car. Yep. Less downforce, you know, it's really efficient, so not too much on your gas and your
not
tires.
Not a lot of drag, like
yeah, not a lot of drag. But yeah, we do offer a bunch of different components, basically suited to whatever the customer's needs. If we don't have it, then you know we can make it.
Very good explanation.
I'm glad we're going with the 250 for this one. Like I said, it's my favorite. It just makes the car look, you know, a lot more track when it's on the street.
Yeah, agreed.
It looks sick, especially with the spoon kit.
I love the amount of adjustability as well.
That is going to be it for today's episode, guys. We got our body kit mostly finished on the S2000. We got our spoon bumpers on, we got our hood on, we got our fender vents, which turned out very nice. They're bonded in
Those
place.
turned out so much better than I thought they were going to.
They look good. They look good.
I have seen some that do not like fit and go well with the car, but Mickey had a couple of different ways he could have done these. He recessed them, made it look like it was part of the original fender. It's going to waterfall in and it's going to look fantastic.
Once the bodywork is done, it's going to look really nice.
Yes.
So in the pictures for that kit, they like drop it in from the top and there's like hardware along it. Yeah. I think this is going to look way better than that when it's done. So Mickey also went up to APR and got a custom wing made for this. It's not here yet, it's not on the car yet, so you guys have to wait for a future episode on that.
And more APR parts too.
That's true. That's very true. So we have a lot of stuff coming for this car, guys. It's going to be really cool. So
I'm even more excited now after doing this than I was before.
100%.
So
thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you guys in the next episode.
I'm on the spot. I'm not on the right spot.
God, your nose looks huge when he does
that?
No, I want to see the other side.
Toss that way.
I used to work at a circus. Oh shoot!
I ain't never seen some shit like that.
I got you.
It's literally just gonna be Mickey doing the outro by himself.
Oh.
So we're shooting the outro, right? And it's just gonna be Mickey. in
It's
the
not
car,
even an
which should be
outro. It's more
great.
like a transition because we got more work to do.
Yeah, that's
but-
okay.
It's okay. I'm the one that did all the work,
Yeah.
so it's okay.
Ricky stops, parks his car in the middle of the street.
Yeah, he was about to leave.
He was on his way. He already dapped
Because, like,
everyone out. He
he's
already
going
dapped
home.
everyone out. He
He
was
said
going
bye.
home.
Well, I said bye and nobody said anything, and I was
I
around
said
the car.
goodbye
I
to
said,
you.
no. I don't mean that. I mean like about the car. So I thought we were done till tomorrow, and then I see these guys lining up. So I asked, "Is there going to be an outro?" You're like, "Yeah." So I'm like, "Let's do it."
But you didn't do anything to the car, so it's fine.
I'm going home.
I'm kidding, Ricky. Come back.
Well, you guys need one or not?
Sure.
Oh my god.
Only if you want to.
Are you in a hurry to get to the charging station or what?
I got plenty.
Bye, Ricky.
Bye, Ricky.
Did right? Sorry to inconvenience you, Ricky.
Oh no!
Hey, Ricky.
I didn't know.
Hey, thanks for saying like 2 words and then.
At least I said something.
Dude, he
What
stood
did I
there.
say?
He stood there the whole outro. He just stood there. He just hugged Will
Bye,
for like
Ricky.
the beginning part, and that was it.
Bye.
Colin, come in. Did you do anything?
What the